welcome to another episode of the Gen Stuff Interviews. Today we are with Jay-Lewin, who mainly works in the IT and operations department of Gen International. Also, you can see we're not in the Gen International office today, and we're also not on Zoom. So maybe, Jake, you can enlighten us a little bit where we are today and tell us a bit more about your job in Gen.
Sure. Hello. We are in the Findhorn Community in Ecovillage in the northeast of Scotland, which is where 25, 30 years ago, the idea of Gen was first born. It's also where the office for Gen International is based, and it is somewhere that I have the privilege to consider home, as I was born here and spent most of my life growing up here. At the moment, I'm here since a few weeks, but my time is split between being here and being quite nomadic, traveling between other communities and eco-village projects, mainly around Europe, but also around the world. My work with Gen at the moment is I am a freelancer, but I provide operations support and IT support to the staff and the team. So not so much websites and things like that, but more helping the team find software and tools to support how to collaborate and work together when it's spread all across the world, so that we can be as efficient as possible. I also sit on the Gen Steward Circle, which is a new circle for the network as a whole, as one of the 3 representatives from the international node of Gen to this overall stewardship body.
Seems like you have many different hats on in Gen. How did you get to work with Gen? What was your way?
Yeah, it is a story of many different hats, I would say. In 2013, I attended my first Gen conference, and I got elected to stand as the representative from the emerging or re-emerging NextGEN youth network of Gen, as the representative from NextGEN to the Gen Europe Council. Over the following 6-7 years, I helped coordinate the youth part of the Gen Europe conferences and be involved with that a lot. I helped build and develop NextGen in Europe and internationally into the network it is now. I project managed some mainly youth-focused Erasmus Plus, so EU-funded projects for Gen International. A lot of different things. And then a few years ago, about 4 years ago, I decided to step out of and hand over all of my work with NextGen, step out of that. And towards the end of that process, I was approached by Gen International with the idea that I could do some of these skills that I had could be put to use within Gen. And I said yes. So then I started working for Gen in a more limited capacity, as I do now.
Yeah, that's interesting how it all developed very organically, how you got into Gen International in the end. And with all the different things you're doing, would you say there's something you feel really energized about at the moment, some particular project, for example?
As cliche as it may sound, I would say everything. I'd say I only work with Gen because it excites me. The overall bigger vision of Gen excites me. And I'd say specifically within that, it excites me to support the Gen staff to do what they're doing, but more smoothly and efficiently. And then I would say the steward circle. It's a new circle, but it is exciting for me to be back in a space with people from all of the different regions of Gen working together to try and recreate a more unified vision, and to step into this role of Gen taking a stand for what it wants to see the world look like. And it really excites me that circle is happening and it is there, and it is personally super exciting to be in it. and to be involved in it in the way I am.
Like with everything in life that excites you, it comes with some challenges. Could you also give us a little insight about some challenges in your work?
Yeah, certainly. Um, Gen is a completely, I would say in some way it's the definition of multicultural, which is amazing and is inspiring, and it means it can be a lot of work at times, because trying to find effective and efficient ways to collaborate with people from all over the world can be a logistical and bureaucratic and personal challenge. I'm white man from the north of Europe, and I am used to seeing things being done in a very specific and certain way, and generally seeing them work. The bureaucracy in the UK, for the most part, works in the way I want it to, and is functioned in such a way that works pretty smoothly. So it's very easy for me to get the idea in my head that that is the right way to do things. Um, but then when you're working with people from Latin America or even the south of Europe or Africa or the Asian region, the Asian countries, um, it doesn't work within the way Gen is set up and function for me to come along and impose my idea of administration or my idea of correct language about how to talk about things. Even though Gen works in English, it's the language within that can get stray more on the side of legalese, and it's like, okay, well, that doesn't work all the time. Um, so to be broader in scope and to invite people in to be able to make Gen work for everyone, it can be a real challenge. And as I said, personally too, because it means I have to be confronted with the fact that a lot of my ideas about how to do things are not necessarily right, or they're only right in my head. As far as someone else is concerned, they make no sense at all. Like, they make very little to no sense. So it is a constant personal and professional journey, I'd say, to find ways to collaborate in a very broad sense of togetherness that Gen is, and to co-create with such a broad and wide variety of people.
Yeah, I can see it's so beautiful in Gen that all these different cultures coming together and people from all different places in the world sharing a similar vision or the same vision somehow, but it comes with challenges, and it's also beautiful because it pushes you to reflect on yourself. And you can see both sides somehow. And what would you say to people who want to get involved with Gen? Yeah, what are the next steps? What could they do if they want to contribute to Gen?
I think it really depends on who you are and what your interests are. I'd say um, one of the first questions to ask is, what do you really want to do? Like, Gen is a network where our focus is on doing things. It's in creating, even if the doing, I would still put doing under there as living together. Living in community is still something that you do. And a lot of people, I think, come to Gen with this, like, without that clarity about what they want. As soon as you have that clarity about what you want, then you can find everything that's available for you. If you're a young person, you want to gain experience in working within a charity or an organization that has similar values for you, then great. There is plenty of voluntary opportunities working with Gen in the offices here, often EU funded, working with Gen Europe in their office in Spain. Many eco-villages have similar things where you can go and work either in nature or in offices, sometimes funded by the EU. If you already have skills, there are often job opportunities in these offices, paid professional job opportunities. If you just want to get involved and learn, there are conferences and events and online, sometimes even in person. If you just want to go to an eco-village and experience them, many eco-villages have experience weeks or trainings. And if you're a young person, there are amazing opportunities like Yes to Sustainability, a youth-led initiative for running youth exchanges funded by the EU again in communities. That's mainly in Europe, but even outside of Europe, I've spent time in eco-villages all around the world where volunteering to spend time there in Africa and Latin America and North America, and not myself, but it happens in Southeast Asia too, Ecovillage design education courses. So when you're clear about what you want, there is a smorgasbord. There's a whole range of things, ways to get involved. And it's also about seeing that Gen is a network. So it's about finding the place in the network that is what really makes your heart sing. If you want to do stuff, there's plenty to do. If you just want to experience living in community, there is plenty of that too.
Yeah, the possibilities are basically endless, you can see. It's important to make this distinction between, like Jake said, the organization you work with, Gen International, or also the communities on the ground in all different kinds of regions. And yeah, maybe you find something you would like to do. And we're coming to an end here. So thank you so much, Jake, for sharing your insights with us. And see you all in the next interview. Bye.